Hey everyone, so today I'm just going to share with you how to do handstand hops and how to start incorporating handstand hops into your handstand practice. So these are such a fun way if you are already working on handstands to just try learn different entries into handstands and also just play around with different movements. So what happens when we practice our normal handstands and we kick up with one leg, we often find ourselves kicking up with our stronger leg because we're just wanting to get that hang time. We just want to be upside down. We just want to hold the handstand. It's completely normal, but because our stronger side will help us get to that end destination faster, we often forget to practice on our weaker side. So handstand hops are really nice because you can't just like resort to your stronger side, you use your whole body. Another big difference with handstand hops compared to our normal kick-ups when we're learning handstand is when you are kicking up normally, you start with the shoulders already stacked above the wrists, and then you just start learning how to kick up from here. Next thing you have to do is just stack the hips above the shoulders, eventually bring the legs together. When you do your handstand hops, you're starting with your shoulders way behind your wrists and you're actually using the force of your kick up with your legs to then stack the shoulders above the wrist and then stack the hips above the shoulders. So it's quite a lot more to think about and it can be a little bit daunting, but it's really fun. And if you do overkick, your body will just naturally fall you out of this, so not being afraid. So what they look like is, something like this. Still breathing, and then coming down. So how you set up for your handstand hops is you come from your downward facing dog, you just walk the hands and feet a little bit closer. You then take the gaze forward, you're connected to breath, you find a bend in the knees and send the sit bones towards the heels. You then keep the gaze forward. On an inhale, launch yourself up, think of drawing the heels towards the sit bones, and then think of keeping the thighs in towards the body to stop you from going into a back bend. Maybe you get that hang time, slowly come out. Maybe you don't, that's okay. Also, if your handstand hops start off looking a little bit like this, that's completely okay. That 1 second of being up in the air is still allowing you to build that strength and overcome your fears, and eventually you'll just find yourself working more and more into it. So these are also really nice when you start incorporating handstands into your flow, into your practice. When you jump forward to a Malasana squat, our yogi squat, or when you want to start learning how to jump and float into crow and all those things. And yeah, so a nice way to try and have some fun with these and get your body used to them is thinking of clapping your feet when you get up. So it doesn't matter if you get the hips to stack above the shoulders and shoulders to stack above the wrists, you can still think of clapping the feet. So inhale 1. Now maybe I want to try 2. Okay, now I'm feeling good. Maybe I'm going to try 3. And just doing that. So even if you're back here, you can still practice those claps with the feet. But what it does is it focuses your mind on something else rather than the fear of actually doing a handstand, if that makes sense. So it can be quite nice to sometimes have the mind a little bit distracted by something else, but important to keep the mind on breath. So when we go up, we want to inhale. When we come down, we would like to exhale, but whenever you fall out, that's okay. If you do find that hang time, it's important to take your exhale up there, feel yourself engage the core, keep squeezing the thighs towards the body to stop yourself from going into a back bend. Eventually, you will build up in your practice that you can start to lift the legs up from that hop. And then you can use a wall for these hops if you are afraid of going over. So if you do find yourself over hopping, there's a wall behind you. But then when you do that, try and bring yourself out of it by bringing the thighs in towards the body and lowering down like that. So you'll really get that sensation of squeezing the thighs into the body to stop yourself from going over. Eventually you can keep doing it with the wall and you'll find yourself not actually going over onto the wall. So that's a really nice way to learn them as well. And then just important, before you even attempt to practice these, making sure you have given your wrists some love. And then when you finish practicing too, give your wrists some more love. Just doing a few wrist warm-ups and cool downs. If you don't spend a lot of time on your hands, you may find yourself having a little bit of sore wrists or sensations in your wrists when practicing these. Don't worry, just give them lots of love and be gentle and kind to yourself. And I think that's it for handstand hops. Just allow yourself to have fun with these. These are really fun, and really nice way to start building strength throughout the whole body for your handstand practice. I think that's it. I hope these help in some way or inspire you to try these. And if there's anything else, please let me know. I'm always happy to help.